Hey everybody, what's up? I'm back again with another tarot lesson, but this time it's going to be about hidden things that are in tarot cards. My son showed me this video on YouTube and he's only 7 years old, but he's been watching it. So I started watching it and it taught me a lot of things of hidden things that are in the tarot cards that none of us have even probably paid attention to, but they are there. So I'm going to go over these cards. I might have to make 2 videos because it's a lot of details, but I'll go over them briefly. So let's go ahead and get started on this journey. All right, first we're going to start with the Magician and the Three of Wands. Now, has anyone ever noticed that the Magician is the same person in the Three of Wands? I never knew that, but if you can tell, they have the same clothes on, they have the same robe on, they have the headband, and then the same hairstyle. So what the video said is that this is the Magician waiting for his manifestations to come in. Everything that he has been trying to manifest to bring into reality, they're starting to come in. His ships are starting to come in. He has all the tools that he needs to manifest whatever it is. And he believes in as above, so below. Okay, next we have the Chariot. So with this card, it's really related to Egyptian or ancient Egypt. As you can see, he has hieroglyphics. He has the Sphinx here, and these are meant to represent duality between, the light and the dark. He also has 2 moons on his shoulders. This is said to be, the angel and the devil that's guiding him. He has to make wise decisions when he's moving forward. He's divinely guided. He just needs to trust his intuition. It may not be an easy battle all the time or a easy travel, but whatever journey you go on, you are protected and divinely guided. Next, we have the Wheel of Fortune. And as you can see, we have the Sphinx here and the 2 Sphinx here. And we have the Anubis, if I'm pronouncing that right, but that's connected to ancient Egypt. We also have the word tarot spelled on the wheel, and then if you change it around, it spells Torah. And the High Priestess, she has a scroll with says Torah on it. And I believe what the woman said is the first Jewish Bible. I'm not sure, but that's one thing that I recognize about the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, next we have the High Priestess and the Hierophant. And they said that the Hierophant definitely represents Taurus, but both of these cards mean wisdom, and they are a power couple in the tarot. But you have the Hierophant, who is about wisdom, knowledge. You have, the Hierophant that's about wisdom and knowledge. It's about institution, it's about rule, it's about initiation, it's about the rite of passage. She is the keeper of secrets. She knows what's behind the veil, the subconscious. And then we have the Hierophant, he's more of the conscience, and he has followers, he has monks. It's meaning, spirituality, it's meaning churches, religion, also can mean marriage with this card. And our next power couple, we have the Emperor and the Empress. A lot of people debate whether this is a globe in his hand or a lemon, but she says it's a lemon, and I actually kind of see the lemon in it, and it's meant to represent that, sometimes the truth is kind of bitter, or when you are involved with someone who is the emperor, the father, or the divine masculine, they could be a little bitter. They speak the truth. They're protective. They're very stern. He's always ready for war. Under his cloak, he has not cloak or whatever he has on his gown, he has on armor because he's always ready for battle. He's always prepared to protect and guide his people. And then the Empress, this is just about being a mother. This is about fertility. This could represent Libra or Taurus because it has the Venus sign, and that is a ruling planet for both of those signs. It's meaning harvest. It means abundance. It's the Queen of Queens. It's creativity. It's beauty. It's all that's related to the divine masculine and the divine feminine. Next, we have the Moon and the Hermit. And this is another one that shocked me. Now, you can clearly see, like in the Moon card, there's a moon, but there's also the sun. It's the moon and the sun in one. The light in the Hermit's lantern is actually the moon. It's helping guide the hermit to his destination. So these cards are, connected to each other. You see this face in the sun or the moon? It's the face of the hermit. And if you look really closely, they look very similar. They're actually in the same position. So it's like the hermit is letting the moon help guide him. He's using the light to help guide his way. He's using his intuition. He sometimes he's to himself, to figure himself out, but it's also saying to use your intuition, to use your instinct to help guide you. And it's also stating that you need to follow your own light. Quickly, I want to point out, you see the sun here? The sun is also demonstrated throughout other cards. It's here in the Temperance card, and it's here in the Death card. They're all at different distances in the cards, but those are all the same sun in each card. Next, we're moving on to the death card. Now, a lot of people don't like this card, but what I found out about this card is that this is the card that represents, endings. This is rebirth. A lot of people are scared of the death card, but it's stating that, all things come to an end. No one can escape suffering. Just like this king, the king cannot escape suffering. No one can escape death. You have to go through the cycles of life, which is death and rebirth. And this is what the death card represents. It means the ending to something and the rebirth of something else. Now we'll get into the 4 queens, and we have the Queen of Wands. As you can see, her theme is cats. She has a cat at her feet, and she has cats on her throne. She has lions at her head, and she also has them, on her throne, as I mentioned. Cats are meant to represent, independence. Cats have their own personality. They do things as they please. And that's kind of like the Queen of Wands. She's like the center of attention. She does what she wants. She's very independent. People love her. People are attracted to her. And she just has a cat style. And if she doesn't feel like being bothered with you, she won't be bothered with you. Then we have the Queen of Swords, and on her throne, this is, she just has butterflies. And then she also has her head in the sky, but the clouds are not, above her head. It's saying that she has clarity. She's very logical. She's very smart. And then we have the Queen of Cups, and she is very intuitive. She's very emotional. Depending on which position you get her in, she can be either good or bad. She can be, very loving, very kind, or she can be withdrawn and distant. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles. And what I learned about this card is that this card can represent Capricorn and Taurus. All right, now we'll start with 4 kings, and we'll start with the King of Wands. And as you notice, he has a salamander on his throne and on his clothing, and I'll get to that in a minute about what that means. This is meant to represent Leo and fiery energy. He's always willing to get off his throne to do what he needs to do. Then we have the King of Swords. He's very smart. He's very logical, makes head over heart decisions. And then we have the King of Cups. He's very emotional, intuitive, and loving. And we have the King of Pentacles. He's a provider. He takes care of his family. If you notice that the King of Pentacles has his foot on an armadillo, and that's meant to represent the King of Pentacles. He'll do whatever he needs to do to protect his family. He'll roll up in a ball, and withstand anything he has to provide for his family. He's going to be there. What I noticed is that he's the only king that has armor on under his clothing. Yes, he has lavish clothing and it looks nice, but he's always ready for war. He's the provider. He's the protector of his family. That's why, he has the armadillo, because he's protecting. All right, now let's get into what these salamanders mean. And the salamander is going to be found on a few of the court cards. What I learned from the video is that salamanders represent fire. And when you see these in a card, you can definitely see them on the clothing. You can see them on the throne. You can see them on the Knight of Wands, his clothing. And you can also see it on the Page of Wands. So, what this is meant to represent is that salamanders mean protection against fire. They are the only animal that can withstand hot temperatures. So it's saying whatever situation you're going through, you're going to be protected, and the fire is going to be repelled from you. You're going to be fire resistant, pretty much. So that's what salamanders mean. They can protect you against a fiery situation, especially when you need to go in hot, like the Knight of Wands. Okay, and these are just going to be a few random ones that I picked out. There's a lot more cards, but I just picked out a few. And we have the Ace of Swords, and this is going to be the Sword of Truth. And then we have the Seven of Swords, and we all know this card as being the sneaky card. And the reason for that is if you can tell that this person is sneaking off with something that doesn't belong to them. And also in the background, they're having some kind of meeting back there. And here's this person sneaking away with things that don't belong to him, sneaking away with the swords that everybody has, accomplished or gotten over time. And then you can also see that there's a circus in the background. So that's meant to represent that this is clownish behavior. And, he's doing things that just are stupid. And then we have the Nine of Swords. And on this one that I learned is that if you can tell that all the 12 zodiacs are on this blanket. So this is meant to represent that maybe sometimes you feel like all the weight of the universe is on your shoulders and you just can't sleep because you're worried about so many things mentally in your head. And then you have the Nine of Cups to represent wish fulfillment. And it's, to me, what I get is genie in this card. It's, having things that you have been trying to manifest come into you. This is the genie that you're going to get when he pops out of the lamp, when you rub it. In this case, it's going to be a cup. Next, we have the Four of Pentacles. This is just meant to represent having a hold on a situation, your money, your finances, or your relationships or health. The Five of Pentacles, I learned that this card represents Taurus, because Taurus is a good person to obtain material goods. And then we have the Seven of Pentacles. This is a card to represent you need to look at the good things that you have accomplished and, be patient and wait for your harvest to come in. And we have the Nine of Pentacles. This is just getting things that you work for, being able to take care of yourself, enjoy the fruits of your labor. And then you have the Seven of Wands, and this is just being on a slippery slope, protecting yourself, going against the grain, being on guard and standing your ground.